Welcome to Scuppernong Bookstore.
Hey guys, welcome to another interview with the Kennadee and Derrick show. Today we're here with
Steve Mitchell at Scuppernong Books.
Who does?
Sell books and talk to authors and talk to people who want to talk about books.
Hello, I'm Kennedy. Do you have books from other authors, like famous authors here?
We have famous authors, we have dead authors, we have living authors, we have authors from all over the world who are writing all kinds of books for all kinds of people.
What inspired you to have a bookstore?
Well, my co-owner Brian and I, we grew up with bookstores. They were really, really important to us when we were young, and they sort of saved our lives many times. And when we were living in Greensboro, and there wasn't an independent bookstore in town, and we thought Greensboro needed one, so that's what we did.
How long have you been open?
We've been open 5 years. We had our birthday just a couple of weeks ago.
Can you explain the name?
Yeah, the name is a kind of grape. We have beer and wine here, and when we had wine, we started thinking about grapes. And a Scuppernong grape grows here in North Carolina. Scuppernong is probably a Native American word, I think. And so we like the idea of naming it after a grape since we had wine.
Do you have a lot of favorite books, and if so, which one?
Oh, I have so many favorite books, and it changes every week because I can't keep the same favorite books for long. But one of my favorite books for all time is Moby Dick, which I just really love a lot.
Do you write books yourself?
Actually, I do. Both Brian and I. Brian has a book coming out in just a couple of weeks, and I have a novel that was published last year. So Brian and I actually met because we're both writers.
What authors come in to read books to people?
We've had all kinds of authors. In fact, there are two writers, two poets in the back right now who are getting ready to speak. We do about 30 or 40 events a month, so we have a lot of authors come through. We've had really famous people like John Grisham come, and then people who aren't famous yet but will be famous probably soon. So, and we have poets, we have illustrators, we have children's book authors, novelists, nonfiction writers, all kinds of writers come through.
What is your favorite thing about writing?
Being able to make stuff up, and also just being able to play with words. Words are just really cool things to be able to play with because you can put them together in different combinations and they mean different things. And I like playing with words a lot.
Who is your favorite author?
Oh my gosh, you're making me answer favorite questions again. Favorite authors are hard because it changes a lot. But The one that came to mind when you asked me this question is a guy named Ted Chiang, who writes science fiction short stories, and he is really, really amazing. If you saw the movie Arrival, he wrote the story that movie was based on, and he has a new book coming out, and I'm really excited about that.
What's your favorite genre to read, and what's your favorite genre to write?
I really bounce all around, so I like fiction and nonfiction. I especially like reading books from all over the world by different writers from all over the world, because I learn so much about other places and other cultures that way. But I'm really kind of drawn to fiction, and I like fiction a lot.
Was this your first dream? And if not, like, what did you want to be?
I wanted to write first, and so I'm doing that. But this is just a really cool thing that I didn't ever think was really going to happen. That did, and now we've been doing it for 5 years, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Do you know how many books are in the store?
No, I could probably. There are a couple of thousand at least. But they're coming in and going out all the time. So people come in and buy new books, and there are so many new books that come out every week that we're constantly replenishing the supply.
What is Greensboro Bound?
Greensboro Bound is this book festival that a whole bunch of people in town got together to make happen. And we did our first one last year in May. We had over 80 authors. We had over 50 events. It was all downtown. It was all free. And we're doing it again this year, May 16th through the 19th. There'll be children's authors and middle grade authors and adult authors. And we'll have about 80 authors again. And you can see your favorite authors. You can talk to authors about writing and publishing and their books. You can hear them talk to each other. And you can just go from one presentation to the next for 3 days. It'll be a whole lot of fun, and we'll be announcing our authors in the next couple of weeks.
How long does it usually take you to write a book?
It takes different people different lengths of time. It takes me a pretty long time. The book that I published last year took 4 years. 4 years to write. But different people work at different speeds. I just feel like I'm a slow writer, you know. But that one took 4 years.
Did you ever get stumped while writing a book? And if so, like, what was your inspiration to keep going?
The best thing for me is to have a couple of different projects going at one time. So even when I was writing the book, I was also writing short stories and writing other things. And that meant that when I got stuck on one thing, I could go and work on a different thing. And that makes it a little easier, because then you're not trying to just figure out how to do this one thing. You can kind of put it over to the side and let it breathe for a while, and then come back to it when you're ready. But yes, I did get stumped. You always get stumped. Yeah.
Do you sell any of your books here?
Yes. Yes, we sell my book here, and actually we sell quite a number of local authors. It's really incredible how many authors there are in Greensboro and in the Greensboro area. So we sell a lot of books by local authors.
Did you ever doubt yourself while, like, making books or, like, opening the store?
Yes. Still do, actually. It happens all the time. But I don't think doubting yourself is a bad thing. I think doubting yourself allows you to kind of question what you're doing and how you're doing it, and rethink things sometimes. So doubt is not a thing to be afraid of. Just like making mistakes isn't a thing to be afraid of. We made all kinds of mistakes when we opened the store, and we will continue to, but we hopefully learn from our mistakes, and that's what makes everything we do better.
Did you have to go to college to learn how to write, or did you just do it naturally?
I did not go to college. but it's a thing that takes a lot of work and a lot of practice. So it's not really a thing that I think happens. Well, it happens for some people naturally, probably, but it still takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to do it.
Like, what's your favorite genre of books?
I read all kinds of books, so I'm really kind of all over the place. Like I mentioned, Ted Chiang, who's a science fiction writer. I like all different kinds of fiction and short stories and things like that. So I tend to like fiction a lot, and I like to read fiction from all over the place. So I like to read fiction from South American writers and from Japanese writers and from French writers and from all over, because I feel like I get a better, I always learn new things that way.
What is the longest book that you've written?
That I've read? Yeah. I've read a bunch of long books, and you get to the place where you don't really think about how long they are. It's just kind of a commitment to do them. The Brothers Karamazov is a big one. It takes a while. Don Quixote takes a while, and I'm reading one now called Anniversaries that's actually 1,700 pages long in very small type, but I haven't finished it yet, so I can't tell you I've read it.
How can people get in contact with you?
Scuppernong Books is on the internet at www.scuppernongbooks.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You can come by the store here on South Elm Street, or you can give us a call at 336-763-1919.
Do you have any advice for kids who might want to be a writer?
Read everything. Read everything you can find. Read all the time. Read things that you don't think you'll like. Read things that you don't understand. Just read. That's the best. That's the best way to become a writer.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Please subscribe, comment, tell me your favorite book, and give us a like. Bye.